What's up, you all? I want to jump into it. Let's get started. Today's title is Create Your Own Mission Statement. I think a lot of us ran into problems. Well, I say I will, is because I never created a mission statement in my life. I never really articulated what I wanted to do in life. I never really put my mission statement down. So, what's up, Heen? Um, my boy Cool Heeman here. But what is your mission statement? Um, every company that you see has a mission statement. And the reason why companies are able to execute is because they have a mission statement. Even the bad people do. BLM has a mission statement. Communists have mission statements. Everybody has a mission statement because a mission statement gives you a clear goal, how you want to proceed in this thing called life. I was just watching a video. I'm gonna play this video first. Maybe I shouldn't play it, but I might not. But this whole Israel Hamas thing, I want you all to just think for a second. It's my little protein smoothie. I'm sorry. I want y'all to think for a second. During the Peter pandemic, the whole world shut down. All of the global leaders agreed on the Peter pandemic. So, is it really a fight if at any given moment they can shut the world down for some Peter pandemic? Is it really real if they tell the people in Israel, if you don't get the snake bite, you will be ostracized from society? And then the Muslims, they tell the Muslims, if you want to go to Hajj, you got to get the snake bite. Everybody agreed with the snake bite. So we saw the world unify over something that was very sinister and very wicked. Now we fast forward and we're watching TV and social media and we're believing what we're seeing. But we just saw the entire planet shut down over the Peter pandemic. So you got two things to look at here. You got, okay, you done had 2 wars since the Peter pandemic, but during the Peter pandemic, nobody was fighting. So they've already proven to you that everything you're seeing can be changed in an instant. Now, my question is, do you believe what you are looking at? Do you believe what you are looking at? There's an old statement that says, believe none of what you hear and half of what you see. Believe none of what you hear and half of what you see. Isn't it convenient that now you can go against Israel? Think about that. Isn't it just a bit convenient that they're allowing you to support Hamas in Palestine? Since when has it been cool to critique the Jews? When? So why is it cool now? How all of a sudden was it cool? I'll tell you when it became cool. When Trump was president, you were allowed to criticize the president with no problem. But when Obama was in office, you weren't. And now that Biden's in office, they shut down all conversations about Joe Biden. So what I'm telling you is that you being able to have an opinion on this Israel, Hamas, Palestine thing, this Judaism versus Islam thing, the fact that they give you an opinion lets you know it's a setup. It's not real. Because at the end of it all, they can say tomorrow there's a new Peter pandemic that's wiping everybody out, stay indoors, and it's all over. No missiles, no bombs, no children, no nothing. The past 3 years have taught us absolutely nothing. It is not the media's job to inform you. It is the media's job to give you information. That's not the same thing. The devil is not going to tell you the truth because the truth is freedom. The devil will always give you the illusion to operate off of. Norma McCorvey never had an abortion, but yet she's the reason we had Roe v. Wade. Wait a minute. They based Roe v. Wade off of a woman that never had an abortion? Yes, because that's how Satan works. Satan has to get you to believe the lie. Once you believe the lie, you are in spiritual contract with Satan because he is the father of lies. So once you believe a lie, now you are Satan's child. I'm sorry to tell you this. Once you believe a lie, you are Satan's child. So it's very important for you all to not believe lies. You mean to tell me that George Floyd was predicted in the Captain America movie? Yes. You mean to tell me I Can't Breathe will be used in the future when it comes to climate change? Yes. The devil gets you to believe the lie to have you in violation. Anybody with common sense should know if they can make the world shut down over something that had a 99.8% recovery rate, what makes you think that any of this is real? They said 2 weeks to slow the spread, and people still got a mask on. What I'm telling you all is they want you to make a choice. And I'm telling you to choose God. The world is offering you two choices. Both choices are presented by Satan. This is why we choose God. We don't choose sides, we choose God. What did God say? What would Christ do? So again, somebody said the scenes coming out of Gaza are real. See what I mean? How is it real if I'm controlling what you see? Just think for a second. How is it real if I'm controlling whether you see it or not? How is it real if what you are seeing is controlled? If they cut the power tomorrow, you won't see anything. Do y'all understand what I'm telling you? Is anybody comprehending what I'm saying? If they cut the power tomorrow, you don't see any images. If the social media platforms restrict the content, you don't see the images. So you're only seeing what they want you to see. This is why God says, walk by faith and not by sight. Lean not unto your own understanding. They're showing you what you can understand. I'm telling you that if you can understand it, you're already set up for failure. If you can understand it, you're already set up. Lean not into your own understanding. That means your wisdom and discernment has to come from God. You don't use man's wisdom. The Bible says there's two types of wisdom. Wisdom from God and wisdom from man. We already know that man's wisdom is going to tell you that the game is to be sold, not told. We can ask God for wisdom freely, not man. Man's going to require a payment for it. And what I'm telling you is that they control what you are seeing and what you don't see. Am I making sense? Is what I'm saying making sense? These people control what you are seeing. You don't have your own emotions. You don't have your own feelings. You were given, you were shown something, and then you gave it the emotions. They're controlling what you see. Rodney King got beat, but was it real? And when I say real, I mean, is it organic? Did it happen naturally? Rodney King got beat, but was it real? Broken bones, bruises, swelling, but was it real? Who had a tripod set up 3 o'clock in the morning, perfectly set up to film Rodney King getting beat? Who had their camera set up at that time of night perfectly to show you Rodney King getting beat right underneath the lights? This is a perfect scene. Same with George Floyd. I know what I'm telling you is hard to believe, but they control what you see for a reason. There's a reason why they're showing you these images. You got to ask why. The character question is why? Why do they want me to see this? Why do they want me to feel this way? Why? The question is, nobody wants to ask why. I'll tell you why, though. To control you. To control you. Everything they're doing now leads us to a place. Your question is, where does it lead us to? Somebody mentioned 9/11. They showed you the planes flying into the buildings over and over and over again. They showed you the buildings falling over and over and over, and nobody stopped to think, wait a minute, why do they keep showing this? So my question is, we saw George Floyd on the ground. We saw Rodney King getting beat. But my question was, is it real? You saw it. Was it real? The devil deals with illusions. And this is a hard concept for you all to grasp. The devil deals with illusion. That means the illusion is an illusion because it appears real. You know, folks will be walking in the desert and it's a mirage in the distance. And it looks like water. People will be looking, it's so hot that your mind, and you're so thirsty that your mind is going to play tricks on you. You're going to look in there, you're going to see a mirage. You're going to see water and trees and everything. The devil deals with illusions. I don't want any more kumbaya speeches about humanity. I don't want any more speeches about humanity. I saw these people terrorize humanity for a year and a half or 2 years. And what did humanity do? The end result of humanity getting terrorized is for humanity to get right back on the propaganda machine and ride it again. I don't want to hear anything about humanity. I saw them terrorize humanity, and now I see humanity falling for the same banana in a tailpipe. So the character question is, why? Why do they want you to pick a side? Listen to me. I know y'all think I might be a little off my rocker, but listen to me. Make no mistake about it. Everything they're doing is setting us up. There's going to be a global figure, and this person is going to have the trust of humanity. Now, you have to ask yourself, why would the whole world trust this one person? What state would the world be in to trust this one person? What state would the world be in to trust? People distrust the Pope. People distrust the president. People have distrusted all global leaders. So what's going to make humanity trust this one person? You got to ask them these questions. Why are they going to trust him? Everything they're doing is getting us to a place. I'm telling you now, if you're emotional about what I'm telling you, you're going to be deceived. The Bible says you're going to hear of wars and rumors of wars. The Bible says to have your feet shod with truth. A breastplate of right. The Bible says put on the whole armor of God for a reason. Because in these days, think about how much the propaganda has increased over just the last 3 years. It's been insane. How do you tell what's real and what's fake? It's all propaganda. Somebody said we need to de-escalate violence. Let me tell you something, you all. There will never be peace. Even if we said, let's separate America. All the folks that want to be decent and good on this side, all the folks that want to be decadent and destructive on that side, it will still be a war. You can't have peace. This is the fall of man. It's sin. It will never be peace. There will never be peace. It's sin. You got a bunch of people living in sin talking about peace. What are we talking about? You got a bunch of people out there picking sides saying they're righteous, but they living in complete sin and decadence. What are we talking about? There will never be peace. There will never be peace. What part of this thing we've been going through means peace? We at war with big pharma. We're at war with big government. We're at war with big business. What part of this thing is peace? You want me to sit here and cry over dead bodies in another country when people dying in front of me every day? Think about what y'all asking me to do. You're asking me to step over the dead bodies here in America to go focus on some dead bodies overseas because somebody told me that at the moment those dead bodies mean more than the ones over here. What are we talking about? People die every day and they're going to keep dying. People been dying. That's not new and it's not news. People been blowing up stuff. Y'all didn't care when America was doing it. Y'all picking sides between Israel and Hamas and Palestine, and it's a fact that the U.S. government done funded both sides. They giving Israel money every year, and they done gave the money to the terrorists, whoever they are. So you got this administration funding both sides of the war. So are you mad at Israel or Hamas, or you mad at Joe Biden? Who you mad at? At the end of the day, ain't nobody innocent and ain't nobody guilty. We are flawed as human individuals. It is what it is. Nobody has the moral high ground to point the finger at anybody. Nobody. So at the end of the day, America has enough problems. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's enough problems in America. It's just funny to me that we just went through 3 years of pure hell and everybody jumping like this. This is crazy to me. I still won't smoke. Listen, I love y'all. All I'm saying is believe none of what you hear and half of what you see. And if they're showing it to you, they're showing it to you for a reason. They just found the shooter unalived. He unalived himself conveniently. Now he got away, but he unalived himself. How convenient. How convenient. The mass shooter that voted for Obama unalived himself. I got folks telling me he's a white supremacist. I said, well, what did he say that was racist? Oh, man, you know how they all do. I was like, I don't know. Tell me. What did he say that was racist? I said, he voted for Obama. Oh, that don't mean nothing. Oh, it don't mean nothing. Okay. Again, I'm not going to be in this reprobate mind with y'all. I'm not going to be in this delusional mind. I'm not going to do it. My mind is very sober about what's going on. And I know that nobody has the moral high ground to point the finger. Nobody. There will never be peace. We just went to war with big pharma, big government, and big tech. The unholy trinity. That's who we are at war with. Y'all caping for Israel. Israel was terrorizing their own people who didn't want to get a snake bite. Israel was terrorizing their own people, didn't want to get that snake bite. So but they ain't got to fire no missile. I saw how they handled that Peter pandemic. I saw how they handled them shots. You don't remember that footage, huh? People couldn't go to the store. People couldn't work, ostracized from society in Israel for not getting that snake bite. I remember. They told all the Muslims, y'all can't go to Hajj unless you get that snake bite. And they still went to Hajj. They still got them snake bites. So I don't want to hear nothing about nobody fighting because at the end of the day, it's all BS. At any given moment, they can say, go back in the house and folks going to do it. There will never be peace. There will never be peace. You got China running in talking about y'all need to stop fighting China. Y'all think it ain't a setup. China coming in playing peacemaker, and y'all don't think it's a setup. Man, come on, y'all. Has the last 4 years or 3 years taught us nothing? Be wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove. Have the last 3 years not taught us anything? Where is your wisdom? Where is your discernment? I love y'all. I love y'all. What it says right here, almost 50% of the people in Gaza got the snake bite. Arrival of the first wave of consignment of the snake bite doses to the state of Palestine. Listen, y'all. When I'm talking to y'all, I'm not talking to y'all of what I think or hypothesis. I'm telling y'all what I know. Everybody was down with the snake bite. Gaza, Palestine, Israel, all of them. Iran, everybody was down with it. There wasn't no fighting going on. Because the people at top said no fighting. So half the folks in Gaza got the snake bite. Facts. The entire planet shut down behind this Peter pandemic. That should let you know that all of what you're seeing is fake. It's not real. If they come out tomorrow and say that climate change is taking over, the whole narrative shifts. Now nobody's fighting. And everybody's in their house locked down. I'm telling you, it's a setup. Everything they're showing you now is going to lead us to a place. Most folks that are running their mouth out here don't have any wisdom or discernment. They don't know what's going on. They're responding to what they're seeing. The Bible says, lean not into thy own understanding. Walk by faith and not by sight. Why? Because your own eyes are going to deceive you. The entire planet was shut down behind this snake bite. That means Palestine, Gaza Strip, Israel, Iran, Kuwait, everybody was on board with the snake bite. It was world peace behind a shot. And now y'all want me to believe that people really fighting. Stop. Stop. Thank you for the badge. Beautiful Asia. Thank you. These people have a plan, and the plan is to get you all to eventually follow one person. That's what all this is leading to. All this is leading to the whole world wanting this one person to be the leader. You got to ask yourself, how are they going to get the world to do it? They're doing it now. They're showing you. They just showed you we can have most of the world agree to a Peter pandemic. We can have most of the world agree to a shot. We can have most of the world agree with picking a side in the conflict. All of these most of the world agrees going to lead to something. Most of the world agree to climate change. All these most of the world is going to agree is going to lead us somewhere. The question is, where is it going to lead us? You think these people, these folks want you to talk about Jewish people. They want anti-Semitism. That's what they want. They're showing you all this stuff so that everybody says Israel's wrong, and then what's the end result? Think about it now. Now it's approved for you to say Israel's wrong. What's the end result? Everything everybody is doing right now is going to justify the anti-Semitism stuff. And mark my words, next year, you're not going to be able to say a single thing about a Jewish person or Israel. Mark my words, a single thing. Just like when you mentioned the snake bite and Peter pandemic, they shut your account down. They blocked you. They demonetized you. They shut you, took the videos down. Remember that? It's going to be the same thing with the Jews in Israel next year. Mark my words. At the end of the day, I'm not telling you all what to believe. I'm just telling you all the people in charge want you to believe something. And what they want you to believe is going to be to your detriment. So all I'm telling you is, if they're showing you children being murdered, they're showing you for a reason, and the reason isn't good. They're not. Since when? Again, this is the same media. The same media that told you to get the shot is the same media you showing you the babies. Why do y'all make me come on social media and be the bad guy? Why? The same media that told you to get the shot is the very same media showing you images of babies being dead. The question is why? It's the same media. The same media that hid all the stuff about Joe Biden is the same media showing you the babies. The same media that lied on Trump is the same media showing you the babies. The same media that's been feeding you lie after lie after lie after lie is showing you dead. The question is, for what reason? It couldn't be a good reason. They've been bad this whole time. I'm just telling you all that they want you all to feel a certain type of way. Either they want you against somebody or they want you supporting somebody. They don't care. They just want you divided. So whether it's Republican, Democrat, conservative, liberal, Palestine, Hamas, God, Israel, long as you picking a side, they got you. When will the people say, you know what? No more. No. No more. America is going down in flames, and they want you to worry about Israel and Palestine. I mean, seriously. America is going down in flames, and they want you to worry about something overseas. It's insanity. Why is nobody passionate about this country? Why is nobody passionate about what's going on in America? We live here. Why did I see this kind of passion when it came to these shots? I see people protesting in the streets. I see all kind of stuff for Israel and Palestine. I didn't see this for the shots. How are we more concerned about other countries than America, and we live here? America is going down in flames. You want me to step through the rubble and the ashes and go focus on Israel and Palestine? I can't do it. There's people over here dropping like flies because they have that alien technology in their body. They dropping like flies. People are dropping like flies. And I don't see this much passion behind that. Y'all ain't finna get me with no side topics. Y'all not finna get me with no side topics or no Israel and Hamas and Palestine. I don't care. That's a side topic. America's going down in flames if we speak. They got the Chi-Coms to the north. They got the Chi-Coms to the south. They got folks flooding the borders coming over here. Who you think coming over here? Soldiers. Y'all worrying about Israel and some folks that's been fighting. They ain't gonna stop fighting. They're gonna be fighting tomorrow. They're gonna be fighting next week. You ain't finna distract me. America's going down in flames. In flames. We're not gonna have an election. They turn this propaganda up. What are we talking about? Listen, I know these people dropping like, I know folks dropping like flies. Y'all want me to be, listen, man, I gotta worry about too much. America's being invaded. I'm sorry to tell y'all this, but they got you looking over there and your country being invaded. And I'm telling you now, the folks coming over here don't like you. I'm just telling you. They don't care what color you are. You an American. I read the global plan say we have to get rid of Americans. You know why? Because Americans actually believe in freedom. The rest of the world don't. We actually do. The stuff other folks endure in other countries, we wouldn't do it over here. You can't do it over here. Over here in America, we get some bad service. We cussing the manager out. In them other countries, they getting their head knocked off. So they said we got to get rid of all the Americans because the Americans believe in freedom. And all those global protests around the world against this Peter pandemic, they all had American flags up. They all were saying, America, remember who you are. Why was the world during the most intense moment looking to America? And then we over here looking at somebody else. There's a reason why they're looking at this country. Y'all think they said, God bless America. No, they said, God bless America because it's prophetic. This is prophecy. Y'all think Israel is the promised land. It's not. It's America. They said the land was flowing with milk and honey. So you got rivers of gold because it was a gold rush. Where? In America. You got a land flowing with milk and honey. You got the snow-capped mountains and you got the rivers flowing with gold. America is the promised land. They say the last Mohicans. When this thing, why is everybody saying if America fall, the whole world fall? It's a reason. The only reason that this thing ain't fully collapsed is because America is still halfway standing. And y'all taking it for granted, looking over there at some other country about some mess going on. That this country is funding. This country funding both sides of it. And the folks above them is funding both sides of it. We in the promised land now. I don't care what they tell you. I don't care where you go. Ain't no place like America. For all her flaws, for all her decadence, it's still the greatest country on earth. Period. And I believe it's prophecy. This is why back in the day, they couldn't let America go. America was independent for about 5 years. England had to snatch it back up because they know. We in the promised land. We in the last days. Listen, I love y'all. I love y'all. I'm just saying that we got enough to worry about right here. We ain't got no energy to give nobody else. We got enough to focus on right here. These folks, Bill Gates buying up the farmland, China buying up farmland. Why everybody want a piece of America? Y'all know that only 50% of America is even inhabited. Do you know that half of this country has no people in it? Do y'all know that 50% of America, nobody lives? That's how much land is in America. You can put the entire planet in Texas on 600 square feet. The entire 8 billion people can fit in Texas on 600 square feet. We got too much to focus on in America to worry about what's going on over there. I'm telling y'all, it's a setup. Yeah, it might be like 49% uninhabited. So at the end of the day, I don't know about y'all, but somebody said in the things, I'm America first. Yeah, I'm America first. Somebody called America Zion. So if you want to be Zionist and support Zion, this Zion right here. This is Zion. This is Mount Zion right here. You want to support Zion so much. This is it right here. This is it right here. Everybody looking at America. Everybody. When a president, when a person becomes president of America, he gets the title of leader of the free world. Come on, y'all. So all I'm saying is that we got to focus on this, us. I ain't got no energy. I'm sorry. I don't have any energy to give to no foreign policy. I'm sorry, I don't. They over here buying up land and everything. I ain't got no energy for these people. We at war. People coming from the north and the south. These people trying to take guns, buying up all this property. Look what's going on. Inflation. Come on now. Too much worry about here. Can't do it. Can't do it. Can't do it. And I love y'all. So we got to pray for America. And then after I pray for America, then I'm going to pray for Israel and Palestine and all them. I'm praying for America. I'm praying for y'all first. Y'all my priority. They ain't my priority. I'm sorry. People ain't gonna stop fighting. Y'all my priority. I'm worried about y'all. I ain't worried about them. You say that you want to say. I'll go to Congress and tell them too. I honestly ain't focused on them. I'm focused on this right here. Y'all waged war on the people 3 years ago. Y'all waged war on us. I'm focused on people right here today. The audacity of these folks waging war on us and then telling us to pick 3 years later, pick a side. I mean, get out of my face. Get out of my face. So I ain't focused on you. I'm sorry. You call me heartless. Yeah. They said the babies. They said, well, they said, what about the babies? I said, it's 1,000 babies being aborted a day in the Black community alone. 1,000. 1,000 a day. And nobody is saying nothing about it. So now I'm supposed to cry over them babies, but not these babies. I'm not going to do it. You know how many children can't read in America? How many children are starving in America? How many children getting abused in America? How many children getting killed by their degenerate parents in America? Come on, man. I'm sorry. It's too much going on in my own backyard. Me to be looking overseas. I can't do it. I'm not going to do it. So God going to take care of Israel and Palestine and them. We need to worry about this. Pray for America. I'm praying for y'all. Hope y'all pray for me. We got enough going on over here. Y'all doing that. I wouldn't even have the heart. I wouldn't even, to me, it's just indecent for a reporter to go over there and flip over and show you dead bodies of babies, dead babies. I wouldn't even do it. It's disgusting. Who would even do it? Why would you even show that? Why would y'all even show that? Because y'all want to get a reaction, that's why. It's disgusting. You gonna pull the look at the baby. Don't do that. No. Listen, y'all. I ain't going for it. I'm sorry. I ain't going for it. Somebody said, what is the solution? The solution is that the people, we got to come together and say no. 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 Listen, y'all. It's not nothing that's deep. Everybody said we done with it. It's over. What they gonna do? Two things gonna happen. Either they gonna stop or it's gonna be Armageddon. Either way, we know what's gonna happen. We know what's going on. Let the Lord's will be done then. I'm telling you right now, the moment people wake up, It's going to be Armageddon. Gil Scott Heron said that the revolution won't be televised. And he said, and most folks think he meant that the revolution won't be televised because the TV station is going to be off. That ain't what he said. He said because the revolution is going to take place in the mind. The way you think is going to change. That's the revolution. Tell people, we got to tell them, no, we done. Y'all ain't tired of this stuff? Y'all ain't tired? Y'all ain't tired of all this? Like, it's always something. It's always something. If it ain't a mass shooting, if it ain't a virus, if it ain't a shot, if it ain't a conflict, if it ain't, it's always something going on. No, we done. Let me get my land, and then you know what? Let the chips fall where they may. And if I got to go, let me go defending my land. Let me go out with some honor, defending my land and my family. What I'm not going to do is go out for what they want me to go out for, be a crash dummy. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. You look in the Bible, God never used a lot of people. Because when you're doing things for the right reason, there's power in that. It's power in you moving righteously. It don't take a lot of people to make change. It doesn't. So I don't know. But that's about it on that. I went too long on that, but I'm sorry. But, you know, I love y'all. And I just know that this is a never-ending thing with this media. It's going to always be something. It's going to never stop. The goal is, what are we going to do? Because God is waiting on us to stand up and be righteous. Many are called, but few are chosen. Yes, they don't want to answer the phone. The phone been ringing for everybody. Who got enough courage to pick it up, though? Who has enough courage to pick it up? Everybody's so passionate about everybody else. You live here, though. Better be passionate about where you live. Better be passionate about America, where you live, where you didn't live your whole life. That's what's being taken away. They can't move me with no images. I'm sorry. I can't be moved. The last 3 years got me jaded. Got me jaded by the world. I saw the world fold asking us for help. So I know where the power is. It's here in America with us. Nobody else. It's on us. Let me go to get to these videos, y'all. I'm sorry. I went too long. I'm sorry. I went too long, y'all. I'm sorry. But y'all get the gist of it. Y'all get the gist of it. I was supposed to talk about some relationship stuff, but I'm gonna say this though. You know, create your mission statement. You know, what do you want out of life? What do you hope to accomplish? What is your mission statement? We don't have mission statements for ourselves. Everything around us, the CIA has a mission statement. The FBI has a mission statement. Like, everybody that's trying to control us has a mission statement, but we don't. What is our mission statement? Come on, y'all. We got to have a mission statement. That's right. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rules of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. We wrestle not against flesh and blood. So that means when you see a person-to-person fight, you are really seeing a principality in action. You're seeing powers in action. You're seeing the rulers of darkness in action. You're seeing the wickedness in high places in action. All of these wars and conflict, the Bible tells you, is not flesh and blood fighting. It's the wickedness in the high places controlling this. Somebody said, my mission statement is to stand with God. Somebody said, well, I just created a mission statement today with a few other people. That's good. Amen. We all need to do it. Let me get to these videos. I went too long on that. I really want to just talk for that for like a quick second, but you know, it's a quick little second. Okay, let's see where we are here. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. This is a good one right here.
Classroom, we're going to talk about history today. I got a message saying you always want to talk about the pandemic. You always want to talk about the shots. And I said, and you always want to talk about racism and slavery, something you never experienced. I know you guys relate racism to things like you didn't get the job, or some white person was rude to you, or I applied for a place and I didn't get it, or I waited too long in the steakhouse and the lines was too long. You know, I know you all relate those things. Anything can be racism now. Now, you guys read the books, you looked at the movies, you believed all these things they told you years ago, and most of them was lies. Now, they showed you bathrooms with black bathrooms and white bathrooms, black churches, white churches. They showed you segregation, racism. They showed you all these things, right? Now, here it is. I have some histories, and y'all don't want me to talk about it. You don't want me to talk about my history. You don't want me to talk about segregation. I witnessed segregation. When they was telling y'all that if you took this, stand in this line, if you take this, if you didn't take it, you can't go. Y'all remember that? That's segregation. I was discriminated against. Now you don't want me to talk about that's my history. I actually went through it. Now I went to elementary, middle school, high school, and some college with 95% of white people, and I never experienced any racism. Now here it is. You want to talk about something that you never experienced. You know, you weren't even alive. But now I have some things that I've been through, segregation, and I was discriminated against. I can't talk about that no more. We're gonna just erase it. Y'all want to erase that part of the history, huh? Now listen. These black pastors said y'all can't get in. Y'all remember that? Y'all forgot family members you couldn't be around?
So she brings up this Imagine No Colors. She brings up a very good point. She says that, well, you all say I talk about the Peter pandemic and the shots, and y'all talk about racism. But the funny thing is that you all never experienced slavery or segregation. She says, but I actually experienced segregation when it came to these shots. You couldn't go here, you couldn't do this, you couldn't. So she was like, so how are y'all so upset about history that you never experienced, but not upset about something you actually experienced, which is what we went through the last 3 years? She makes actually a very good point. But again, this still goes back to the delusion that people are under. It's a spell. And the spell is what Black folks have been complaining about. They actually saw it in real time. Except when they saw it in real time, they weren't complaining about it, which is ironic. Everything that we went through over the past 3 years mirrored what they showed us in history. And for some reason, nobody bucked. Like, they told you you had to show your freedom papers to eat at a restaurant. Think about this. They told you during slavery, if you was free, you had to have your freedom papers. They said, if you don't have this card, you can't come into this same thing. And guess what? Nobody bucked. So she's making a comparison that you all never experienced any of that, but you passionate about it. But when it came to what you actually experienced, you're not. It don't make any sense. But we know the devil deals with illusion.
It was birthday parties, weddings. I remember getting invited to a gospel concert, and they told me, I got the phone call saying you're not going to be able to get in because Master, him's going to be checking for this when you're at the door. And I said, I wasn't mad that I was uninvited. I said, that's okay, thank you. I praise God at home. But if the people who brought tickets could get in because they didn't take this, what do you think the gospel singers did? You think they took it? Yeah, they took it. They bowed down. Master, what you say, Master?
They told you that you couldn't go into the hospitals to see your loved ones. Then, when your loved one passed, you can't have a funeral. Somebody said we did, but it was a few folks that bucked. But according to the numbers, about 300 million Americans got a snake bite. So 300 out of 350 is most people. I'm sorry. Most folks complied. And the problem is that nobody had a mission statement. Everybody should have been repeating the same thing, and they weren't. Everybody was attacking this thing from different angles. Now we all got the same mission statement. This person talking about this person talking about this person took the snake bite. Now they want to fight against it. It's too much. It's chaos. It should have been one mission statement. No, we ain't doing it. Rena just said I couldn't have a funeral for my dad. I know. So again, what's funny to me is if I said during slavery they wouldn't allow the slaves to have funerals for their loved ones, that would be used as a talking point of how racist America is. But if I say they wouldn't let you have a funeral for your loved one when it came to the Peter pandemic, moms is the word. It's crazy.
How much you going to pay me? Yes, I'll take it. They took it. They didn't trust God. When it was time to trust God, you all didn't. So don't tell me nothing about, I can't talk about my history. I can tell my look, this is history. I actually witnessed it. I was discriminated against, and you don't want me to talk about it? No, sir.
Now think about this now. Think about us telling our children or grandchildren all that just happened, but the history of what they're learning says the opposite. Just think by the time your children are grown adults, what they'll be saying about this time period now will be all a lie. And you'll be like, that didn't happen. That didn't happen. Think about what you're going to be telling your kids and grandkids and great-grandkids possibly. This is what really happened. Think about it. History is not going, when this story is told, it's not going to be told with the truth. It's not. You're going to be saying, no, I lost my job behind this. They was doing this. Come on. We see it. We see what's happening in real time.
I am. You see how they go? Here it is, something they never witnessed. Something happened 100 years ago, 20 years ago. They want to talk about it. She had Jerry Jones' picture on her page talking about racism. You were nowhere around. You don't even know the real story. You weren't based on a picture. This is some things that I witnessed. You guys are not gonna let me. These things that I went through. Y'all gave straps on my back like Kuta Kinte, and y'all didn't say nothing. Even the black people was turning into black people. The black people was turning against the black people. Look, this is an eye opening for me. This thing that happened opened my eyes to many people. So don't tell me I can't talk about my history.
The funny thing is that we actually have valid claims of being mistreated from a historical standpoint over the past 3 years, like literally. Like I could say, like, just imagine you got me 50 years from now, and I'm older and I'm talking like, you know, they had the music in the background, they got me in black and white, you know, and I'm just talking like, yeah, it was rough back then, you know. I lost my job. They kicked me off of Instagram, huh? Oh, y'all didn't kick me off, huh? You dirty rat, you. They just kicked me off of IG, huh? You dirty rat, you. Oh, let me guess. I'm back on them. So what they do is, this is what Instagram does to me. The more people that follow me, the more I get punished. So now I'm back down to an hour for my lies. Listen, I might have the coldest algorithm on my account. If more people follow me, the more I get shadowed. Like it's the more I get restricted. It's crazy. It's crazy. But anyway, but yeah, you know, just in the future, I'll be talking like, yeah, it was rough back then. You know, I know what they're telling you now, but that's not how it went down. I was there. Like, you know, I'm going to sound crazy to people like that really happened. Yeah, that really happened. People were dropping like fly. Like, just think about how crazy I'll sound when history is saying this was the greatest time in existence. Let's continue.
Listen, guess what? Don't worry about it, okay? This is something you can actually tell people you witness. If you all witness this, y'all was discriminated against, or y'all witness segregation, please comment, okay? Class is dismissed.
That was Imagine No Colors. I thought she did a great comparison on history versus actual history. You know, I thought it was a great comparison. Here goes some more history. You're going to like this one.
Saying about the Levi jeans and the slaves?
Okay, so back in the day, the slave masters actually used to tie the slaves together to horses and pull them apart. But the thing is about the Levi jeans, they actually used to do that to their jeans to test their strength. So, you know, they're definitely connected with dealing with the slave masters and what they do.
So basically you're saying that the jeans, they was testing the strength of the jeans.
Yes.
To see if they were ripped.
Yes.
So they would tie the slaves with jeans on?
No, that was a form of torture that they did to the slaves, and now they tested on their genes because they saw it from their slave masters, and now they do it on their genes as a testing its strength.
Oh, so you're saying they would actually tie the jeans to horses and let them run in opposite directions?
Yes, just like they would do the slaves.
That's why they got the horse on there.
Yep, and that's why you see the symbol on the back of their jeans.
The horses.
Yes.
Levi's.
Yes, Levi's, that's the one.
When I think about slavery, I think about a key aspect of it. When they said they didn't want y'all to read, I see why. I'm gonna play this again, but I just want to say before I play it again, this is why they didn't want y'all to read. This is why right here. Let me just go back. Play it again.
So what were you saying about the Levi jeans and the slaves?
Okay, so back in the day, the slave masters actually used to tie the slaves together to horses and pull them apart. But the thing is about the Levi jeans, they actually used to do that to their jeans to test their strength. So, you know, they're definitely connected with dealing with the slave masters and what they do.
So basically you're saying that the jeans, they was testing the strength of the jeans
Yes.
to see if they were ripped.
Yes.
So they would tie the slaves with jeans on?
No, that was a form of torture that they did to the slaves, and now they test it on their genes because they saw it from their slave masters, and now they do it on their genes as a testing its strength.
Oh, so you're saying they would actually tie the jeans to horses and let them run in opposite directions?
Yes,
to see
just
the
like they
strength
would
of-
do the slaves.
That's
And
why
that-
they got the horse on there.
Yep, and that's why you see the symbol on the back of their jeans.
The horses.
Yes,
Levi's.
yes, Levi's, that's the one.
Yeah. This is why they didn't want y'all to read. This is why they outlaw reading for all of you Negroes. And this is the reason right here. Because you all reading has been to you all's detriment. Because you all read everything except God's word. Y'all read every nonsensical, foolish thing. Y'all will read everything except God's word. This man said that the Levi's company took the Levi's company would test their gene strength by the horses pulling the jeans apart. But then they want you to believe that the slave masters was tying the slaves to horses and pulling them apart. Now, y'all do realize that nobody's going to spend money for a slave that has to work and torture the slave. That defeats the purpose. You're not going to spend money on a slave and torture the slave to where the slave can't work. Doesn't make any sense because you still got to feed the slave, clothe the slave, and take care of the slave. They want y'all to believe they were just brutalizing these slaves. You wouldn't get any work done. You wouldn't get any work done. Even when you watch the movies and they on the big ships rowing the ship, you know, at the bottom of the ship, do walk around every now and then with the whip, get the like, but he ain't just brutalizing the people because they gotta row the boat. Somebody said that slaves cost money. This notion that this stuff was happening is not economically feasible. It doesn't make any sense. If your goal is production from a slave, you can't brutalize the slave. They're not going to be able to work. This is common sense, people. This is common sense. The slaves were brought to work. If they can't stand up, they're not going to be able to work. This man just said that Levi. God. So in other words, I can't wear Levi's. Is that what y'all saying? I'm going to still wear them, though. Y'all can get mad all you want. What's up, Compton? This is crazy. This man, so in other words, y'all, don't wear Levi's because Levi's is linked to slavery. Oh, my goodness. I keep asking this same question. Has Black history benefited Black people? Black folks were way more productive when they didn't know their history. Because to whom much is given, that much more is required. So sometimes not knowing is better. Because all this information got this guy in the African store with the pyramids and the ankhs, and his eyes he looked crazy. Looking like Huey P. Newton's grandson. He looked crazy. Ankhs, pyramids, sage, crystals, smoothies, vegan dishes, all this stuff, and just as lost as ever. Levi is a Jewish name, and they ran the slave trade, so maybe there's some truth. Listen, man, we are conditioned to believe that if it sounds good, it's true. That is a bad habit that we've developed. I'm inclined to believe if it sounds good, it's a lie. Because the truth don't sound good. The truth don't make you hear the truth. You want to skip and go play in the sun with the flowers. No. If it sounds good, it's a lie. The truth don't sound like that. The truth comes with conviction. The lie is entertained. So if I had to bet on what this guy is saying, I'm going to bet it's a lie. Because most folks hear this and they got excited. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm gonna save some of these videos for another segment. I'm gonna play this one though.
You don't like Africa.
Why?
We got more shit going on in Compton than Africa.
What part of Africa did you go to?
Johannesburg, Soweto, Sun City. You see, if you see rap shows, black rap shows in Africa, you never see them in a building. Africans can't go into certain parts of, and so you tell me that you got such a strong country of Africa, and you're 80% of the population, and other people aren't but 20% of the population, and they control your diamonds, control your ore, your oil, and all your minerals, 20%. And you trust in God, and he won't get rid of them 20% for you? We ain't but 12% of the population in America, and we got color TVs, microwaves, video games. We're not walking around barefooted. So what did I wouldn't go in Africa if you paid me.
Now, many people will get offended by what he's saying, but what he's saying is 1,000% true. Y'all look into Africa, and Africa is the worst example of what y'all should look at. Africa got a whole continent took from them. The mighty kings and queens got a whole continent took from them. Everybody went to Africa and had a field day. Everybody went to Africa and had a field day. The Portuguese, field day. The French, field day. English, field day. Everybody went to Africa and had a field day. Even the Dutch, even the people that's known for wearing wooden shoes and having windmills went over there and pillaged Africa. Even the folks that ain't even known for nothing, the Dutch ain't even known for no kind of war. They known for wooden shoes and windmills. They went over to Africa with wooden shoes and windmills and conquered it. Y'all got conquered by the people that wear the wooden shoes, man. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Africa had been pillaged by everybody, the Arabs, the Jews. Everybody went to Africa and ate. And not just ate, set up shop and took it over. So how is it that Africans don't own Africa? But somehow they're the symbol for what we should aspire to. It's absolutely insane. Y'all couldn't defeat the people that wear the wooden shoes. Y'all could hear them 100 miles away, all them soldiers clicking with them wooden shoes. And y'all still couldn't defeat them? What are the Dutch known for? Nothing. Windmills and wooden shoes. Blonde and blue eye. They real nice. That's all they known for. Come on. Come on. Play one more time.
Like Africa.
You don't like Africa.
Why?
We got more shit going on in Compton than Africa.
What part of Africa did you go to?
Johannesburg, Soweto, Sun City. You see, if you see rap shows, black rap shows in Africa, you never see them in a building. Africans can't go into certain parts of, and so you tell me that you got such a strong country of Africa, and you're 80% of the population, and other people aren't but 20% of the population, and they control your diamonds, control your ore, your oil, and all your minerals, 20%. And you trust in God, and He won't get rid of them 20% for you? We ain't but 12% of the population in America, and we got color TVs, microwaves, video games. We're not walking around barefooted. So what did I wouldn't go in Africa if you paid me.
So y'all can get mad at him. Ayatollah Marvin. Y'all can get mad at him. But all I'm telling y'all is that not just the English conquered Africa, but everybody else did too. So for as mighty as Africa's supposed to be, for the place that had all the kings and all the queens, all the dynasties, all the science, the ancient Kemet, the pyramids, all that, the Euphrates, the Nile, Africa known for the diamonds, the gold, the mineral, everything, with everything. Now think about this now. Y'all over there in Africa, the largest continent, with all the resources, all the minerals, all the history, all the science, all the mathematics, all the kings, all the queens, and y'all still got conquered. And y'all still got conquered. That's an indictment on y'all. The English folks, they still got a monarchy. Them Arabs and them sheiks, they still run the Middle East. Everybody still run their spot except the Africans. China still run China. Japan still run Japan. Everybody run their spot except Africa. And Africa had the most of everything. And y'all couldn't even defeat the people that's known for wearing wooden shoes. You know how bad your feet got to be when you wear wooden shoes all the time? They couldn't even, they could barely stand up. They couldn't even fight. How they win? How did the Dutch win? The Dutch got arthritis and gout in their feet. How did the Dutch beat the Africans? Nobody can explain it to me. They known for wooden clogs and windmills. And they beat y'all. So my point is that what he's saying is 1,000% correct. None of y'all want to go to Africa for a reason. As much as we love Africa so much, ain't nobody leaving America though. Let's continue. Let's continue.
Did you feel when you watched the video of George Floyd being killed?
I was outraged. I don't think anyone can view the video and objectively come to any other conclusion but that it was an act of murder. And I felt that initially, as everyone did. It's so disturbing. And, you know, the underlying issues beneath that are something that the country is now struggling with. And I think it's something we have to look at very soberly and with a lot of empathy. And I'm glad to see that's happening around the country. You know, what it's taught me is we now have 4 other children of our own. And my oldest son, Jack, ironically, this year is 14. And I've thought often through all these ordeals over the last couple of weeks about the difference in the experiences between my 2 14-year-old sons, Michael being a Black American and Jack being white, Caucasian. They have different challenges. My son, Jack, has an easier path. He just does. The interesting thing about both of these kids, Michael and Jack, is they're both handsome, articulate, really talented kids, gifted by God to do lots of things. But the reality is, and no one can tell me otherwise, my son Michael had a harder time than my son Jack is going to have simply because of the color of his skin. And that's a reality. It's an uncomfortable, painful one to acknowledge, but people have to recognize that's a fact.
What should we do about that?
I think that we really do need systematic change. I think we need transformative solutions.
Now, the Speaker of the House said that his Black adopted son has it harder than his white, I guess, biological son. Now, I want you to think about this for a second. I would love for him to tell us how his Black son has it harder. Based on what? You're his father. It's your job to provide him a better life. So as a father, you failed. Because if he's going through the same thing that he will be going through without you, then that's a problem, sir. If that young man under your roof isn't an example of racism being conquered, then you failed, sir. His dad is the Speaker of the House for the United States of America, and he's white. If that's not an example of conquering racism, I don't know what is. Your dad is the Speaker of the House, and he adopted you. You hit the universal lottery. Come on, man. Listen what he says.
Couple of weeks about the difference in the experiences between my 2 14-year-old sons, Michael being a Black American and Jack being white, Caucasian. They have different challenges. My son Jack has an easier path. He just does. The interesting thing about both of these kids.
Your son Jack has an easier path, but based on what? If he said my son Jack has an easier path, he's going to have to qualify the statement based on what? I would say your son's easier path would be you being his father. And I would also say that for the Black son as well. You being their dad gives them the biggest advantage. They get to grow up in a very affluent environment with connections. Not just an affluent environment, but also with connections. So you mean to tell me with you as his dad, with all the connections, with all the political leverage, with all the monetary success, with all of these things, he still has it hard? That's on you, sir. That's on you. And you should be ashamed even putting that in his head. Because what they do is they get Black boys to be weak because they tell them if you are challenged by life, it's because you're Black. Not because everybody goes through ups and downs. Everybody faces challenges. God put a whole system in place that nudges us to be our greatest. God is always pushing us to be our best. So that comes with us having to build our character. That comes with us having to be chastised, having to be brought down, having to be humbled, having to go through things. This notion that he has it harder without qualifying the statement is really you saying if you face any challenges, it's because you're Black. And I rebuke that. because God wants your character to be built. So God wants you to face a challenge and overcome it through faith, through a Christ-like mind. So this Speaker of the House gets a no from me. Even though a lot of stuff I agree with, I don't agree with this. Because this right here is who he really is. Because this kind of ideology spills into CRT, spills into socialism, spills into Marxism, spills into the liberal ideology, spills into the trans agenda. This, what he's saying, spills into all the other agendas. So I got to give him a hard pass on this. You telling your son, no matter what you do, it's going to be hard because you're black. Then why would he try? This myth that when you tell somebody they're against all odds, they're going to try hard, that's not how that works. Adversity does not build character, it reveals it. So if you tell your son he's going to go through things in life because he's black, he's not going to try. And then when he faces a challenge, he's going to believe that he is only going through because he's black, which is going to make him entitled. So he's going to believe that he should be able to go through life with smooth sailing and have nothing happen. It is it's actually a demonic and satanic message to even give a child, and I rebuke it. Your son's greatest challenge is going to be you having a wimp for a dad. That's going to be his problem. His dad is a chump. These young men are waiting for us to tell them that we believe in them. They can achieve in spite of. They're great. Don't focus on the negative. Focus on the positive. Your attitude represents your altitude. Your altitude represents your attitude. All these things we should be saying to these young men. Instead, he telling them, well, you know you black, so you have a tough road. Stop. I rebuke it and reject it.
Michael and Jack, is they're both handsome, articulate, really talented kids, gifted by God to do lots of things. But the reality is, and no one can tell me otherwise, my son Michael had a harder time than my son Jack is going to have simply because of the color of his skin. And that's a reality. It's an uncomfortable, painful one to acknowledge.
And then he says, and no one can tell me otherwise. Even though the black son has the exact same attributes as the white son, good looking, articulate, all these things, they have the exact, you're still telling him he's going to have it harder. It's a satanic and demonic message. It just is. And then to double down and say, nobody can tell me different, so you don't have any wisdom or understanding. You're the Speaker of the House, but you should be you're the Speaker of the House. Why does this man have a voice? Why does he have a platform if he sounds like a chump? He sounds like a soft man. This is the problem with the world. There's too many weak men that have positions of power. Watch it. Listen.
Really talented kids, gifted by God to do lots of things. But the reality is, and no one can tell me otherwise, my son Michael had a harder time than my son Jack is going to have simply because of the color of his skin. And that's a reality. It's an uncomfortable, painful one to acknowledge.
How can you say that he's gifted by God, but that it's going to be harder because of his skin? That doesn't make any sense. If David slew Goliath, right? Think about this now. David slew Goliath. David had all the odds against him, but he slew Goliath. Did you ever hear anything about David saying he was oppressed? Who in the Bible said they were oppressed? Who? Even the folks being persecuted, getting beheaded, never said they was oppressed. How do you say in one voice that the boy is gifted by God, but that he's going to have a hard time because of his skin color? So what you're really saying is that white people are more powerful than God. Why does nobody ever say, I won't be affected by racism? Why does no one ever beat their chest and say, racism has no power over me? Why does no one ever say that racism doesn't affect me at all? It can't. I'm too great. Why don't people talk like that? I'll tell you why. Because people believe in the narrative of racism more than they believe in God. This guy is Speaker of the House, and he shouldn't even be the Speaker in his own house. He's a chump. He's a wimp. And he's setting his children up for failure. He's going to make his white son weak too. You're telling your white son that because he's white, he gets the easier road. You're telling your black son because he's black, he gets the harder road. These are both false messages. Because what it does, it makes one person feel entitled and the other person feel like a victim. Speaker of the House. He shouldn't have a voice. We don't need any more weak men speaking. We should be snatching microphones from every soft, weak man. Enough is enough.
But people have to recognize that's a fact.
What should we do about that?
I think that we really do need systematic change. I think we need transformative solutions.
Right, Kuheen. The only thing he's going to have a hard time with is fighting with black culture because you're his dad. The only thing he's going to have a hard time with is fighting against other black folks upset that you're his dad. The irony of black people being oppressed by black people. White folks ain't oppressing black people. It's crazy. Anyway, he shouldn't be Speaker of the House. He doesn't deserve to have a voice. Thank you, Cruise Missile, for the super sticker. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Star Baby, I'm with you on this, Blanche, all the way. Teach. Thank you so much, Star Baby. Appreciate it. We don't need any more weak men. And at the end of the day, this Speaker of the House is no better than the last Speaker of the House. Why can't anyone say that racism has no power over me? Right, Doug, Speaker of the bathroom. Thank you, Angel Wings. Why does nobody say that racism will have no power over me? Why does nobody ever say God is more powerful than racism? You notice no one ever talks confidence against racism. No one ever speaks with confidence and boldly against racism. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. But guess what, you all? That means racism too. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. That also means racism. So why would y'all be going to the government to solve racism and not go to God? I'll tell you why. Because you believe that the government is more powerful than God. That's why. Y'all told me that the Jesus blood was The blood was bled so that we might be healed and made whole. But does the blood stop running because of racism? That's what it sounds like. You see, most people have already bought into the religious ideology of racism, and they've already put racism above even God. God can do everything else except cure you from the Peter pandemic and defeat racism. Climate change is going to be next. I just want y'all to speak boldly when it comes to racism like you do everything else. I'm waiting for somebody to talk boldly about racism. But most folks cower down to it because deep down inside of them, they want the excuse. They want to be able to fail in life and have somebody to blame. One more video real quick. Listen to these heathens talk real quick.
Conversation is more so centered around biracial people who do not want to identify as Black. Not biracial people who say, I am Black and I'm white. Because I have,
but you're not white. But you're not white. I guess that's the thing I'm pushing. You're Black and you have white family.
You really don't believe as a biracial person you can say, I'm both.
Nah, you can't say you both.
Imagine saying you're gay and you're straight.
Well, you would say you were bi.
That's a different thing.
Right, which is not straight. And straight becomes the norm, right? So let's follow this logically out. Similarly,
this is the dumbest take ever. Racist white people said, if you get one drop of blood in you, you are Black. That was done to prevent the races from mixing. This ideology that Black folks are running with was created by racist white people. There is no such thing as one drop of Black blood making you Black. When Black people get with another race, the first thing to leave is their color. Black is not the dominant gene. The first thing to leave is the color. So if I have a child with a woman that is not like me, the child is going to look skin-wise more like the mother than me. This notion that the one drop rule is foolish. And Black folks run with it because they're so prideful. They want to be able to erase whiteness with one drop. It's foolish. You got soft Van Lathan right here. He just as soft. And you got Lamont Hill just as soft and sweet. And this big four-headed chick right here, I don't know who she is, but let's continue.
Biracial person is not the norm, right? In a white supremacist society, that is what? White. So you can't be biracial and white anymore. You can be bisexual and straight. Now, again, these are problematic ideas.
Rage, fight back. This nigga bodying you right now.
It's not,
I'm not trying to fight back.
We're not debating. We're not back. Don't let this nigga
bodying you right now.
Right? In a white supremacist society, that is what? White. So you can't be biracial and white anymore. You can be bisexual and straight. Now, again,
there are plenty of bisexual men in Lamont Hill's community that say they're straight. It's foolish. He's making an equivalent to gender and race. Gender isn't a construct. Race is. This is stupid. These guys went to college. They're stupid. Her forehead is big, and these two guys are stupid. Race is a social construct. Gender is not. Sex is not. It's too many weak men running their mouths. What Lamont Hill said was stupid. If a child is biracial, then a child is biracial. The audacity of Lamont Hill telling someone that they are going to be Black because one parent is black. Who are you? Who is Van Lathan? These dudes are soft. And they've been plaguing the black community for years. I always keep telling y'all this. When you hear a black man when a black man has a microphone in his hand and a stage and a platform, he doing one or two things. He either crying or complaining. Or I'm gonna add a third one, lying. Yeah, that's the guy from TMZ. That's him. Oh, this girl was a bachelorette. This big head girl was a bachelorette. This big head girl was a bachelorette. How you gonna tell somebody they have to exclude the whole half of their whole parent? So you tell them if they have a white parent and a black parent, they can exclude the white parent out the picture and pick the man. Stupid. 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 Race is a social construct. It is a tool used to divide and control. There is no such thing as race. There's no such thing as race. You're a human being. You have different cultures. There's no such thing as race. It's foolish. But to say that a child has to pick the black, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Let me get y'all mad. If I got a white parent and a black parent, I'm picking the white parent. Now, I said it. If I got to pick between what you gonna pick, white or black, white. You wouldn't even be able to get it out. Who you want? White. If I got to pick, I'm picking the white parent. I'm white. I'm white. So that's me. I'm not picking the black one. You give me a choice, white. You know what I'm saying? Anyway. Yeah, let's continue. Hold on.
Again, these are problematic ideas.
Man, rage, fight back. This nigga bodying you right now.
It's not,
I'm not trying to fight
We're
back.
not debating. We're not bad. Don't let this nigga down here pipe you up to think we battling. We just talking. We building.
And then using the N-word. So think about this dynamics. They start off by telling you that you can't be biracial, you're just black. Then they tell you to exclude your white parent. Then they tell you it's the same as you can't be bisexual and straight. Then they telling you the N-word. Now the N-word, everybody having a good time. Somebody said you're mostly right, but race does exist. Race doesn't exist. How does race exist? If race existed, then it would be then the external factors would determine it. That means animals will respond different in different races. The environment was, if race was a real thing, then things outside of you will respond to it. So you think if you walk in the forest, the bear gonna not jump on you, jump on somebody white? No. What are we talking about? There's no such thing as race. People's pigment is determined by where they live in the world. The darker you are, you're close to the equator. Like, what are you talking about? This is race. What is he talking about? These are environmental things for you to adapt to your environment. Darker skin, more sun. Lighter skin, less sun. This ain't rocket science. There ain't no such thing as race. We're human beings. A dog is still a dog. You got pit bulls, you got German shepherds, but they're still dogs. So at the end of the day, yeah, my point in all of this is, is that the whole premise of this is to say that there's no such thing as biracial. But they're saying that you have to pick black. We can agree that there's no such thing as black because your skin's actually brown. I don't understand how we're confused on this. Nobody has white skin, nobody has black skin. They are all different shades of brown. So my question is, if the language they're using doesn't even match what they're describing, then how is there such thing as race? Doesn't make any sense. And somebody said they're agents of chaos. It's confusion. You would never use people's skin tone to tell somebody their color. You would never say, here's an example of black, and then pull me up into the front of the classroom. There is no such thing as white. It's a social construct. Race is a social construct. You have different tribes, different cultures, different languages, but people are human beings. It'd be different if you have some folks that had 3 arms, 4 legs, and that's different. Most people have 5 fingers, 5 toes, a sexual organ, a butthole, 2 eyes. Like, what are we talking about? There is no such thing as race. I don't know why y'all confused. You said race does exist. But it's the behaviors forced on people that are social constructs. That's not race, though. That's called programming. Because what you're saying is it has to be forced on the people. So if I gotta force it on you, that's not natural. Race is supposed to be natural. If I force, that's not race. That's called you literally just described a construct. You literally just described a construct. They're forcing someone to do something. That's not natural or organic. So without that forcing, there would be no race. Folks would be separated by the region they were from, what their interest was, not because of their skin color. It's one human race. Black folks running around, oh, we got the carbon. Every living thing has carbon in it. What? The soil got carbon. Like, it's just crazy. It's just crazy. But my point is, the more y'all believe in race, the more power these folks have. The more power they have. Didn't you say you believe in interracial dating? If I say these terms, it's just terms to give context. It's just terms to give context. Because I guarantee if I'm making that statement, it's somebody bringing up the fact that you can't date outside your race, which is foolish. It's people in India and Asia and Africa darker than me. It's in Mexico. It's foolish. There is no such thing as race. Interracial, these are terms. These are slang terms in the human vernacular. These are just common terms. Black, white are common terms. They're constructs, though. Interracial dating is a construct. Malachi 2:10, Angel Wings posted, have we not all one Father? Have not one God created us? Why do we deal treacherously every man against his brother by profaning the covenant of our fathers? Exactly. We come from God, ain't no race. James 2:9, but if ye have respect of persons, ye commit sin and are convinced of the law of as transgressors. No respect of person. So again, the Speaker of the House and Lamont Hill and Van Lathan, they wrong. They wrong as two left shoes. There's no such thing as race. It's not. And to say that someone's skin color is going to determine anything in their life is a lie. There's a whole bunch of poor white people that just don't show you. They just don't show them to you. You don't get to see them. I remember when I was a kid, there was all kind of commercials for the poor white kids in America, in the Ozarks and in the South, with no shoes on, living in shacks and trailers. When I was a kid, it was all kind of commercials for the poor white kids of America. Then it went away. Yeah, but a physical difference isn't race. It's not like a physical difference like you have wings and they got fins. You're talking about physical difference based on skin color. The big cats got different lions and tigers and leopards. They all look different. Cheetahs, they all look different. They all still cats though. Anyway, I love y'all. I thank y'all so much for tuning in. But just go back if you can find it to the 1980s when they had all the commercials for them poor white kids with no shoes on, no clothes. See how poor they looked in America. And I think last year they had some commercials for the poor white kid, but they was playing the commercials in Europe. So they had the Europeans donating money to the poor white kids in America. And again, you just don't see them. They there, you just don't see them. I'm gonna play some of them for you. I'm gonna find some. I'm gonna find them old videos of them white kids in America that was poor asking you to give money to them. I'm gonna show them to you. I'm gonna show them to you. Y'all gonna be like, what? Yeah, I remember. Because it's funny because when you see that as a child, you don't have an illusion of white people being privileged. Because when I grew up, I saw poor white people. So there was never, when I was growing up, there was no such thing as white privilege. Because you saw poor white people, not just on TV, but in real life. They used to stay in the trailer parks. And we saw poor white people, went to school with them. So you saw this. There was no such thing as white privilege when I was growing up. That's a new phenomenon, a new term. They still there though. They still there. You can disagree, but you can just, this has already been studied though. So you can just look up what race actually is, where race started, where it came from. So you can even look when they even started implementing race. So it's not like you can disagree with it, but it's factual information that says when they actually started saying people are different races. The majority of humanity never dealt with race. That is a current phenomenon. Is a current agenda, current propaganda. So you can disagree, but you ain't disagreeing with me. I didn't make the concept up. It's out there for you to research this. There's a reason why they started saying white and black when white and black don't even match the colors they're talking about. It's common sense. The colors white and black don't even match the people they're talking about. But it's not a construct that's crazy to me. I don't know how that's even an arguable thing to even argue. But like I said, No such thing as white privilege. 90% of Americans are living off of 10% of the wealth in America. It's a fact. Anyway, I love y'all. Thank y'all so much. But I'm gonna find those videos for you all with the poor white people and them asking for money. So y'all can be like, whoa, yeah, I'm gonna show y'all. Anyway, I love y'all. Thank y'all so much. You say that's why black people got to get over that fear and travel out around America. They were given our land, but many are broke. They are. Most people don't. Most folks aren't rich. Most people live in check to check, man. I'm telling you. But most folks don't get to travel, and most folks get the information from TV and movies and propaganda. You know. This man said folks was divided into racial groups. No, they wasn't, man. They was not divided on racial terms, man. It wasn't racial. If it was, I'm gonna leave on this note. If it was really about race, think about this now. Who found Moses in the river? How could Moses be raised in the palace and nobody think he was a slave? How could the Pharaoh's wife pick Moses out the water and take him as her son and nobody think he was a slave? I'm gonna let y'all chew on that. I'm gonna let y'all chew on that. Listen, I love y'all, and I will see y'all soon.